Throughout 31 years of service to this city, Paul Bauer earned 67 various awards recognizing his work. Ask anyone who knew him well, and they'll tell you that Paul didn't do this job to that level for the recognition. He did it because he loved his job. He loved CPD, and he loved the people that he worked with. So much, in fact, that whenever I saw him personally, he never talked about himself and what Paul Bauer was doing. He'd just go on and on, constantly telling me about the great work the men and women in the 18th District were doing. That's why yesterday, when Paul heard the radio call that a nearby tactical team was pursuing a suspicious person, he didn't turn the other way and let someone else worry about it. He didn't think about his rank or the fact that he wasn't even in his own district. He just ran towards where he was needed without hesitation. Because he, like all of us who wear this star, took an oath to serve and protect this city. Tragically, once he caught up with that individual, he was executed. In a matter of seconds, at the hand of one individual who was wearing body armor and armed with a semi-automatic extended clip firearm. This department didn't just lose an exemplary police officer. The city lost a piece of itself, and a family lost a loving father and husband. While we continue to process this loss, I'm glad to announce that we've charged 42-year-old Shomari Legghette with first-degree murder of a police officer, as well as several other charges, including unlawful use of a weapon by felon, armed violence, and drug possession. Now, this should come as no surprise, but this isn't his first run-in with the law. Throughout his extensive criminal history, he was previously arrested for numerous charges for drugs, armed robbery, and gun possession. Most notably, in November 2007, he was arrested for unlawful use of body armor, unlawful use of a weapon, armed violence, and drug possession. Shortly, I'm going to ask Commander Dinahan to give you more details on the incident and the offender. But it's a devastating reminder of repeat gun offenders who are out on the streets of Chicago and need to be held accountable. Not just for Paul's memory, but for anyone in this city that's been touched by gun violence. Police officers take a lot of knocks, not just here in Chicago, but across the country. If Paul's actions yesterday remind us of anything, they should remind us that all police officers are the good guys. And Paul was among one of the best of the good guys. His wife, Erin, and his daughter, Grace, paid the ultimate debt to the city of Chicago yesterday. And the best way that we can repay the two of them and honor Paul's memory is to be there for them and for all of us to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. They have my promise, CPD's promise, that we'll always be there as their extended police family, and we will never, ever forget them.
It has been an excruciating and an emotional 24 hours for the city of Chicago. Our hearts still hurt, and I can say that our souls are still spinning. And the truth is, they're going to hurt for a long time. I also want to add my voice, not only thanking all the members of the law enforcement community, the prosecutor's office, state police, our federal partners. I also want to particularly thank area central detectives for their incredible work around the clock. But I also want to thank all the citizens of the city of Chicago who stepped forward to cooperate with the police department, from people in and around the Thompson Center to also the cab driver whose work was essential for what we're here today to announce. Our hearts will hurt as a city for a long time when someone like Paul Bauer is taken from us. As the superintendent said, one of the good guys. It hurt for a long time. That's as it should be. But through our grief, we will all honor his life and his sacrifice in ways big and small. The Bauer family deserves, and the CPD family deserves, what any family's victim deserves. And that's a measure of justice. Aaron and Grace, we love you. The Bauer family, the family of CPD, on behalf of the 2.8 million Chicagoans, we are holding you in our hearts. We will see to it that Paul's legacy of public service, of decency and duty, lives on. I ask everyone in the city of Chicago, the city of big shoulders, to stand shoulder to shoulder with the police department. As I saw this morning in the eyes of the leadership, the command staff, and the rank and file of the 18th District. Our men and women who are doing their job are also hurting. And never at a more important time is it essential as fellow citizens who rely on them to step forward and offer them a sense of appreciation for what they do every day. I want to echo something the superintendent said. Paul Bauer was not a commander from the desk. In a world that is upside down sometimes, try to hold on to a thread of sanity. He could have called it in for somebody else to do. He wasn't in his district. He wasn't behind his desk. But he heard something over the radio. And it wasn't his rank that mattered. It was his responsibility that called. Paul Bauer is a public servant, top to bottom. Thank you.
You know, I think it's crystal clear. It should be crystal clear to all of us. You know, some people don't deserve to walk the streets of Chicago. You know, anytime you have, and it doesn't matter that it's a police officer this time, any citizen in Chicago that's harmed because of these guys that repeatedly want to break the law, then we should do something about it. You know, it's as simple as that. I don't know, it really escapes me that's a hard concept for people to grasp. But some individuals just do not play by society's rules. He was one of them. Shouldn't be out there, ever again.